All right, so we're back with basically day three, episode three,
Yeah.
session three. Um, in discussing life events that happen from or that happens between us, as far as me being a parent and my child, and then as myself being an adult and seeing through the eyes of a teen in two different aspects and journeys of life itself. I think it's one of the best things to understand and to learn because sometimes, even myself as well, we tend to get caught up in the monotony of everyday life, right? And it's
Tend
not
to be caught up in school, work.
right, right. The everyday things, and what I would like for this, for whatever this is, because I see it as just a journey of us, not only just me discovering more things about you or your brother or your sister who's mad at me right now. She is mad at me right now. But more of an understanding of how is it that the ways you think affect you on your day to day basis, and the same things that go for me. You know what I mean? The same ways that go for me. Um, so yesterday we went over and discussed things of toxic relationships and learning those parts of us. We discussed healing. We discuss certain situations and stuff like that that kind of almost hinders our growth. And the hard part is to not run away from being responsible and being accountable to ourselves, but to those around us too. So when we go through our lives, and because I've caught myself a long time ago doing this, and sometimes I still do this as well. So I got to catch myself. This is where the self awareness comes into play. Is back to when we first started talking last week about not throwing stones at glass houses when you live in one,
Yeah.
right? So, with that being said, what aspects of yourself do you believe that you can work on that can help you let go or at least learn the depths of you as a little girl, a teenager, young girl, whatever, and to make you a better human being growing up?
I think, um, as somebody who had, or still kind of has a lot of friends, and I've been through a bunch of friendships. I think sometimes I'm self-aware that when we're close, or like I have a close friend, like my best friend,
Yeah.
I realize that if you're so close with me and like we have a really strong bond, the love and care that I give to, my best friend is so significantly stronger than, you know, what I would the love and care that I would give compared to any other of my friends. I think that's what I'm also self-aware is that I know that I can genuinely love somebody and care about them when I'm talking to them every day.
Right.
And we don't have to talk every day.
Right.
It's just checking in. Hey, are you okay? Hey, yeah, I'm okay. It's like small moments like that I'm really grateful for because you know I look at how old I am now and I'm like, so much time has passed by. It's amazing, but like I know I'm not gonna get that time back ever.
Yeah, because once it's gone, it's gone. There's nothing we can do about that. This is why they say you leave the past in the past. It is what it is. But it doesn't, it's not harmful to look back and reflect, and also to look back and learn. You know what I mean? These potholes are what happened here in this area and in this spot, and this is possibly like you're almost like it's looking forward and seeing, oh wait, this could possibly come up.
And how to fix
How,
that.
yeah, well, how did I deal with that before? So this is why I ask you, what do you think you can work on to help you become not just a better person, but a better woman as you grow older and you get into your womanhood and stuff like that? What do you think what do you think will help you become that better person?
I think, um, someone who has gone through so many, so many mental struggles. I think one of the main traits is more positive self-talk. I've always been a little, oh, I would put this in my perspective, but I've always been way too hard on myself with, school and friends. I think one of those traits is I need genuine positive self-talk because the negativity isn't really doing me any well. And it's not
Negativity never.
really helping in
Yeah, I
any
was
way.
gonna say negativity never helps. And at the same part, we too need to understand, which is what has taken me such a long time to understand that, especially for you guys, is be a bit more kinder to yourself, which is what I'm trying to do. Because you know I'm not very kind to myself at all. But that comes from years and years and years and years of abuse. Like actual messed up, truly screwed up abuse. Um, and, I'm still learning and dealing with that in the aspect of when I catch myself, I can hear it in my head. Oh, dude, you suck. Oh, here we go again. This is that crap. There you go. Or you're being a terrible person. You're being a horrible person. You're a terrible father. You're a terrible person. And, it's like, slow down. You're not. You're not.
You're just taking it one step at a time.
But because I beat myself up for so long, it's not okay, here's the other part. It's not something that a switch can just be flipped in the
It's
matter
something
of
that
like
takes
seconds.
time.
You have to repeat it. You have to continue to, just the way it was beat into you, you kind of have to kick its ass out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to beat it up and get it out. So I think that's what's taken me the longest. So that way I can in turn show you guys some grace and show you guys more love and more care. Not that I haven't, but more of it, more of a bit more kinder side, a bit more of the softer side, a bit more of the understanding side. And not that I haven't. This is years of work. This is 15 years of that discipline of working those kinks of the harmful self-deprecation, the harmful actual physical self-harm, the harmful derogatory comments to myself. I don't want you guys to grow up that way, but at the same time, I don't want you guys to be so soft on yourselves that you just let, whatever. It's okay. You know what I mean? You kind of do need to be tough on yourself. You do need to be a little bit hard on yourself.
But not too hard to where it's like actually genuinely mentally weighing on you.
Right. You don't want to damage your mental health that way. That's exactly right. That's truly exactly right. You really don't want to destroy your being because it'll show in your physical world, and it'll show like on you. That stress will, like, people will
You'll
look
look
at you.
more exhausted.
Yes, 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 and you'll look more just drained mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You know what I mean? Those aspects of yourself will start to decompose. You know what I mean? Because for a long time, even with me, I didn't have any feelings at all. I was able a long time ago, again, this is way before you guys were born. Okay, a long time ago, I shut those feelings off. I had love for nobody. Again, I was alone. I was out in the world. I was partying, doing that dumb thing, doing those dumb things. But I didn't feel nothing for nobody. For a long time. I'm not talking like a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months. I'm talking 10 years. I shut that off. 10 years. So the last 15 years is me going through all those hard spots and learning those steps all over again. We're not born, not you, your brother, or your sister, we're not born to be hateful. We're not born to be racist or any of that other crap. Children are the most innocent, babies are the most innocent of all creatures. It's like a purity that is just amazing. You know what I mean? You guys are just so awesome to me. Like, you guys trip me out. You know what I mean? Because y'all are so awesome. I think y'all are the greatest in the world. And I'm not talking about your school stuff. I'm not talking about your school stuff. I'm not talking about, what achievements you did. Screw all that. I'm just talking about you guys as individuals. You know what I mean? My children individually. Y'all are wild. Y'all are cool. Y'all are, though I'd rather have you guys around than to be around a bunch of fake people.
Yeah.
I think that would be more detrimental to my mental health than anything else, and to y'all's. Because how would that make, as I've learned, how would that affect my kids? And I learned that the hard way. It affects my kids greatly, because what happens is your kids see, even for myself, your kids see what you tolerate and they think that's normal. They think that it's okay, and it's not. It's not okay to accept it or be that way. So this is where you yourself have learned, and in the last video you showed it, where boundaries. I'm not going to accept this. I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm not going to put up with it. This is as far as that goes. So I think understanding those parts of yourself has brought you into being a greater person. You've really shown a lot of discernment. You're very diligent on how you deal with things. But when I hear you laughing with your friends when y'all are playing video games, it's like, yeah. Even when I hear your sister, even though she's mad at me right now, whatever, when I hear her laughing with her friends, it's just like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, yes, that's good. That's really good. And your brother's in trouble, so that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole different thing. But I think what you'll notice, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure you have. I always say, I think. I think. You rarely hear me say, I feel.
It's always I think.
It's always, I think. But that's because I shut down my emotions for so long. And then when I was working towards turning them back on slowly, I went through what I went through. And it almost like part of me was like, this is why we didn't do this. This is why we didn't fall in love. And this is it. And it's like, no, don't do that to yourself. So at the same time, too, when you have to let go of certain people in your life and throughout your life, don't ever shut yourself off emotionally. Because look how long it's taken me to, to work to get back to understanding your emotions and breaking them down. Those walls that you put up when people say, oh, that's a cold person right there. They just had a lot of bad things happen to them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of circumstances that happen in their life.
I think the hardest thing to do, especially in like toxic relationships, if you so genuinely love that person and cared for that person, the hardest thing to do would be to just let go.
Yeah, it always is. It always is, and it always will be. Especially when you truly love them. You know what I mean? Because that's a shot in the heart. The hard part about love, and I'm going to tell you this, is you're giving somebody a loaded gun. That's the hard part. You're giving somebody a loaded gun and you're hoping in some way that they don't ever pull the trigger. but you cannot avoid not being hurt by them. Because one way or another, in some time, in some way, in some avenue, you're going to hurt me. I'm going to hurt you. They're going to hurt me. What matters is that person worth that pain? Is it worth it to you in the long run? Is it worth all of that? Now, if it's something extreme, I'm talking like, okay, we'll go, if it's something super extreme, then no, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Cut that
like
off, you know what I
yeah,
mean? But if it's something like an argument or a little fight or something like that, and with,
a disagreement.
yeah, you know what I mean? Have your little pouts and be upset, and it's okay. It's normal.
But at the end of the day, you still, genuinely love and care for that person.
Right,
That
right,
strong bond won't go away because of one thing.
right. And I think that there are some aspects within yourself. Obviously, as you grow older and you get older, you're going to discover a ton of things about yourself. You know, you're going to learn a ton of things about yourself. You're going to find things you don't care about. Like, that's just a waste of time. Get that out of here. You know what I mean? And then you're going to find things that you absolutely just, like, you let yourself go. And you just completely fall into. Like, it's beyond obsession. You know what I mean? It truly is beyond obsession. Like my way with music. I am beyond obsessed with music. Music is
life for you.
Yeah, that's like that's my home. That's my home. I've always loved it. I've always played it. I'll always play it. I'll always love it. And it's my connection to you guys. You know what I mean?
I think that's also where I get my genuine love for music from is its memories.
Yeah.
A lot of songs hold so many memories for me, and it's like a replay of what happened in the past that were memorable.
Right, the good memories and the fun times and all the fun things we did. Those memories are locked in those songs. You know what I mean? They're locked in those. As soon as you hear the tune, as soon as you hear the chord, as soon as you hear the piano, as soon as you hear the guitars or whatever it may be, the singing, the drums, those memories just flood you. Right? That's a dopamine hit. You know
It
what I
holds
mean?
a special place in your heart.
Right. So as you go through your life and you continue to become a better person, which is, please always strive for that. This is something I was never taught. I had to learn this stuff on my own. As I've told you before, this is things that I've had to really take into consideration of once I had you, once we found out, oh, hey, we're pregnant type deal. I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna have a kid. I'm gonna have a kid. Me, of all people on the face of the planet, this guy is gonna have a kid. That is wild. I know I had to change. I knew I had to change. I knew that there wouldn't be any other way I was going to survive or make it by staying who I was. And even right now, even over the last, couple years, I'm in that situation again. I have to change again. So as you see me get older, you'll see those different versions of me evolving, or, sometimes I have setbacks. We all do. Again,
Not
it's
everyone,
inevitability. It's an
every,
inevitability.
no one's gonna have an easy pathway to life.
No, no matter how rich you are, no matter how many things you have and how big of a house you have, you can have 10,000 cars with a billion things. It's an inevitability. It happens. It's supposed to happen. You're supposed to grow. And you're supposed to find things about yourself. Even, as I get older. You know what I mean? I'm going to find out things about myself that, oh, I didn't know I like that. Hey, that's cool. You know? But that part of working on not being so hard on yourself, that's what still kicks me in the butt. It kicks my ass every time. Because I'm learning to break those cycles Because those are ancestral karmic chains that were passed down. It's like, bro, you really have done a lot in your life. Like, slow down. Like, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to calm down for a little bit. It's okay to take a minute, breathe, man.
Take a mental break.
Yeah, fucking breathe. Don't be afraid to slow yourself down. And that was one thing I was always scared of, even being in Pennsylvania. That's why I'm saying it's taken me all this time to work through all that and all this time to build those parts of me and understand those parts of me, because I was always go, 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 go. Let's go get it. Let's go take it. Let's go, hey, whatever, we're going. All right, there it is. Hey, we're doing it. Yep, that's it. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? That was the way my life was for the better part of 20 years. And look at where it has brought me to. If there's anything that I've learned out of all the things I've learned, one of the major key factors that I've learned is if you don't slow down, your life and your body will slow you down. And it's going to cost you your health. It is going to drastically cost you your health. Kind of want to be around for a little bit. You know what I mean? I want to stick around for a little bit. I want to see you guys get older. I want to see you guys grow up and you guys do your thing and you guys, handle y'all's business and succeed in every aspect and in every goal that you guys have. That's huge for me. I don't give a shit about what the rest of the world thinks. I don't care about what the rest of the world thinks. They're going to think whatever the hell they want. Getting to that point of age where I don't give a shit what people think. I don't care, babe. I don't give two shits about what the world thinks. What I care about is, did I give my children the proper tools, or at least a foundational base, so that way my kids can attempt to understand the basic necessities of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you guys survive? Because the world is always changing.
The world never stops changing.
It never stops changing. You can buy a hard drive for your computer, get new RAM, get new GPU, get new CPU, and by 3 months from now, there's a whole different one now. You know what I mean?
It's even better than the one they got.
Right. It's a complete upgrade. So this is why also change is extremely important. Growth is extremely important to me. Because if you're not growing here, the rest of your world stays the exact same. And in 10 years, when you don't change and everybody else is doing their thing and upgrading and doing their changes, you're going to still be doing the same thing.
Just being in a cycle.
And the same mindset and the same aspects of your own, again, we can go back to perception of the world. So you, especially as you get older, understand change is inevitable. You can run from it for the rest of your life, but it will get you.
It'll catch up eventually.
It has to. It has to. At some point in your life, it's going to get you. It's going to get you. It's going to bite you in the butt. And you're going to sit there and say, what have I been doing the last 10, 15, 20 years of my life?
Just running.
And for what? Because the longer you prolong it, the harder it gets when you start it. And the tougher it is, and the longer it even takes to go through it. Not just when you meet it. Not just at the point where you actually meet change. But the longevity of it now is even longer. Instead of just facing with it and dealing with it right then and there. Don't be afraid to face your problems head on. But also be understanding to the mindset of, what is this trying to teach me? What do I need to understand? What do I need to learn? Right? This is the phase of my life I'm going through right now. What is this teaching me? What do I need to learn? What direction is this happening? And this happens to many different people. Don't let anyone ever tell you you can never make it once you get past your 40s.
You can always make it.
It doesn't matter what age. It literally does not matter what age. Now, I'm not going to be old as shit. You know what I mean? Just no, no, no. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. No. But the encouragement to help you receive an understanding of the complexities of life. You know what I mean? Each one has a different aspect.
But they're all interlocked together.
Right.
They all somehow correlate with each other.
There's still a source here. There's still a complex source that is you with all these complexities. You got all these little different versions of you, okay? And in each version, when you get into okay, when you get into the new version of you, this version has to die. So when you get into this version of you, this version has to die. And when you get into this version of you, this version of you has to die. So all these versions of you, of your past, have to die. This is why a lot of people stay in karmic loops. And this is why a lot of people stay in the same karmic circle, doing the same thing for 15, 25, 30 years. Now, if it's giving them abundance through knowledge and they're growing and becoming better, that's a whole different playground. That's not what I'm discussing. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is, I'll give you an example. I know people in their 50s and 60s who still drink every day. I knew them when I was in my teens and 20s, and they're still drinking every day. This was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And these people are still they're still going to bars, they're still hopping up, on different bars, different clubs, different this, and as far as the physical world is going. But they're not doing it here. They're not changing here. Because it's the same shit. Because for them, that's their normal.
That's what they're used to.
Right. Because, well, my parents did it. Or my buddies do it. My friends do it. There's also that aspect of it. There's also that intermingling. You are the sum of the 5 people you keep around you. You are the sum of it. And it's hard and it sucks because where the hell does that put me? You know what I mean? I don't have people around me. And maybe it's for the best, and maybe it's, again, I truly believe that I'm going through a complete different change of aspect in my life. This is another transition that I'm going through. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, physically. Physically as well. And I want you to understand, what I want you to see, especially when I go through these things, is look at all the shit I have to go through. How can I, and it's not to make shortcuts for you, because shortcuts don't ever work out. But it's to get you to understand, oh, dad went through this, or your mom went through this, and it was tough. Okay, let me brace. Let me get into. I got to put on a little bit of armor. You know what I mean? I got to put on my.
Mentally prepared.
Right. Yeah. But I got to put on my boxing gloves for this because it's gonna be a hell of a fight. And it is. It's always a hell of a fight. And what it's doing is testing you. Are you strong enough to survive? Can you make it out? Can you find your way? I can't walk you through all your life. There's no way. The only thing I can do is give you advice and support. As a parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, don't get it wrong and don't get it messed up. Yes, there are people out in this world who have it the easiest and they get every door open for them. But somebody else opens that door for them. They didn't learn the lesson. They didn't go through the necessary steps to make those changes and to make that growth.
Somebody else did it for you.
Right. In this world nowadays, that's how it is. And it's unfortunate. It is what it is. And from my circumstances to now, I've drastically changed. I have, oh my goodness, I have drastically, man, get out of here. Get out of here. But I don't want you to ever think, and I don't want you to ever feel like you can't do it. No matter what it is, no matter what you're after, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, don't ever believe that you can't achieve it. Everything I've ever put my eyes on, I have achieved. Everything I have ever set my sights on, I have achieved.
It took time, sure, but you still,
I still achieve it.
yeah.
Even with right now, with the stuff that I have that's on hold. Okay, I guess. I don't understand why, but sure. Sure. But if you think for 2 seconds that I'm going to quit or stop, no, I'm not. I'm not. Because I will get it done. It's going to get done. That there was no doubt, there was no fucking second thinking or, oh, you're never gonna do it, you're never gonna do it, you're never gonna do it. Okay. Okay. And when I slap you across the face with it, you know what I mean? I'm gonna stand there and say, here you go. I told you I'd do it. I told you I'd achieve it. But you didn't believe in me. I believed in me. No matter how hard you get down on yourself and no matter how hard up here you are on yourself, you have to always let that other voice beat those negative voices. The one that tells you, oh, this is easy. I can do this. This is nothing. This is, I'm sailing through the air easy. Because if you don't make it that way and if you don't have that mindset as far as like, oh, I can get this. I'm going to stumble and I'm going to hit some roadblocks and you know what I mean? There's going to be a couple barriers I'm going to have to punch through. If you don't have that mindset of, but still I'm going to make it, you're going to continuously just beat the hell out of yourself.
You're just gonna keep sinking.
Right. So what happens when you keep sinking?
You'll never achieve anything that
And-
you know, actually genuinely want to go after.
And then what happens? Time-wise, what happens? When you're sitting there doing that, what happens?
You start getting stuck in a loop.
And the more you continually stay stuck in a loop, the more time's just gonna go by. That again, we go back to that time you'll never get back. That's time you'll never see again. And then what, 10 years have gone by? In certain life situations, there are periods of your life where shit just, you hit the wall and you're constantly hitting the wall. Nobody wants to help you as far as whatever your dreams are concerned. You know, you're trying to get help, you're trying to find a way, and you just you're punching a brick wall. And it sucks. Because it's testing your patience and it's testing your faith, but you don't see it when you're in it. Because all you're seeing, because I know I do it, all I'm seeing is just failure after failure after failure after failure after failure. And that's not what is happening. Most people will see it as, hey man, you need to give up. Maybe that's not for you. I've been told that a lot of my life. Maybe that's not for you, man. Maybe that's not for you. Then why the fuck does it keep calling me? Oh, that's right, because it's for me. Not for you. Not for you, not for you, not for you, not for them, not for anybody else. But it's for you. So when you get through all your schooling and all the stuff that you're working towards, and you will hit brick walls. That's just the way that part of life goes. Everybody who has ever been successful at anything in their life hits those fucking walls. It happens. It's supposed to happen.
It's gonna happen.
You can't avoid it. What's happening is how how much do you really believe in yourself? And how much do you have faith in yourself to keep going? Even if it means you need to slow the fuck down. Even if that's what it means. In my situation, I use me as an example a lot and all the time because these are things that I am going through. It's not bullshit, or it's not placating to, oh, I'm gonna be rich and wealthy and da, 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 da. I don't give a shit about that. What I care about is being able to show not just myself, but now that I have kids, like, look, dude, I can do this. Like, this is happening.
You're watching it
This is,
happen.
yeah, you're watching it happen in front of your face. So that way you guys know to never give up on your dreams and to never give up on yourselves. And as much as I may beat the hell out of myself mentally to no end, and I beat the hell out of myself good, it doesn't mean to quit on yourself. And you can have the most negative thoughts in the world, like we said before. You can think the most negative things. But as long as you continue to at least have some, it doesn't even need to be sunshine and rainbows all day, every day. It doesn't need to be that. But it does have to be a spark within yourself. Does that make sense? To be able to, when you're in class, to be able to sit there and say, oh, bored out of my mind, this is boring, oh, I'm so tired of it, you know what I mean? But then sit there and still say, you know what? I got to do this to get through this. Is that better? You understand that? You know what I mean? I got to do this to get through this. And to make it. And to get out of it. And to see it through.
Don't want to be in it forever.
You don't want to be 20 years old still in high school, do you? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? As much as I failed school, and boy did I ever fail school a lot. I still graduated at 18. I still graduated at 18. I wasn't supposed to finish until I was like 20, 21. The principal didn't like me, but yeah. That's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother thing. And it's nothing to be proud about. At least I don't think so. But it's something that I did. You know, I got through it and got it done. I finished. So when you are going through tough times and I'm not around, or your mom's not around, or her husband's not around, you're gonna have to pick yourself up. You know what I mean? It's also to understand your own self-sufficiency. Can you rely on yourself? Can you do this without anybody around? Are you able to achieve these things with nobody around? To speak to, you're going through your school stuff right now, and you're doing your school stuff. Like you said, you always find a way to make it just a little bit. It doesn't need to be, oh, I found the easiest way on the planet to do it. It just needs to be a little bit easier for you. Understanding, comprehension, the knowledge of it, ascertaining the knowledge, you know what I mean? Soaking in the knowledge. That it makes it just a little bit easier for you. So that way it'll help you. They're tools. These are tools throughout your life. These are things that help guide you. Oh, I know this when it pops up again. Oh, I know what's coming next. You know what I mean? I know what's about to happen type deal. So in essence, you're taking, again, the things you learned throughout your life and applying them to your life. Working knowledge. It works. It helps. You're able to get through these things. So when I ask you, and we'll go all the way back around, when I ask you, what things do you think that will help you become a better person? Not just a better woman as you get older, but just a better person. What things do you think you can do that will help you achieve those things?
one of those things, despite, saying positive self-talk, I think another one of those things is having the right people around.
You were the sum of the group around you.
Because I've realized that having the wrong crowd around you or being in the wrong crowd, it doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't help you in any way. It sort of mentally drains you. And you can tell when someone's mentally drained.
You can see it. It's physically visible.
And it's heavy.
Because it feels like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. Instead of just dropping it and letting it go. But then, so that comes back to how we don't let go of our past. How we don't let go of things. How we continue to hold on to things from the past. If you don't let go, how are you ever going to know what you can and cannot do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying don't ever be mad, don't ever be angry, don't ever be upset, don't ever be pissed off to no end. It's gonna happen. People are gonna piss. I'm sure I pissed you off. I'm sure I made you mad. Your sister's mad at me right now. I made her mad. You know what I mean? It's okay to be mad. It's okay to get up. That's part of the human. That's called the human condition. That's what that is. That is called legitimately the human condition. These are parts of us that are natural for us. You know, these are things that happen that made me sad. That made me angry. That made me happy. You know what I mean? That made me, hey, let's go, woo! You know, or that motherfucker, I'm gonna beat that shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna beat your ass. You know? I'm not saying that's never gonna happen. Of course, it's gonna happen. Those feelings, those emotions, those actions are inevitable. But the goal is to understand them before you do those actions that will cost you. I didn't learn that till later in life. I didn't learn that till I was 15 years ago. And even at that, it's a fight. You have to continually do it and continually work on it, because it's not just a one and done type thing. Because there are things that set you off, triggers that will set you off throughout your life. These things will affect you throughout your life. It's going to happen. That are going to piss you off. They're going to drive you up the wall. You're going to have every ounce and every reason to be pissed off beyond belief. But before your actions come out, stop yourself, slow down and think. Slow down. Slow up here down, and it'll slow your heart down, because when you're in those high pressure situations, your heart just rampantly goes through the roof and you're losing your mind, and there you go. You know what I mean? I used to be that way. Somebody looked at me wrong. What's up, bro? What's up? Somebody breathed wrong in my direction. I was already all up in your shit. Especially when I would find out like somebody was talking shit, I'd automatically walk up to them. What's up? Let's go outside. Let's go outside. Let me show you what let's take this outside. I used to be that way. So fucking like quick to anger, quick to violence, quick to resorting that way. I'll give you an example. In high school, and this was obviously even throughout after high school, that happened a lot. Some dude pushed my brother off the table, and he broke his collarbone or something like that. I think it was that. Something like that. His arm. Something with his arm. I can't remember that part. That was so long ago. And I found the dude. I walked into his class. Now, mind you, my brother's 2 years older than me, so I'm in 6th grade. This dude's in 8th grade. No. Sorry. I'm in 9th grade and he's in 11th. And we're upstairs. I'll never forget, it was in McCullum in Southside. I walk into the teacher's classroom and she goes, "Oh, little Moya." I didn't say shit. I just walked to that dude. Boom! You're the one that pushed my brother. Let's go outside. I was about to grab him and drag him out. A lot of my friends I knew my brother had and a lot of his friends knew me. Because we're brothers. My friends were at the house and his friends were at the house, so we commingled. They fucking got me out. They pulled me out. No, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. I got in trouble for it. I didn't care. You hurt my brother. My first instinct is to beat the living daylights out of you. That's my first thing. Again, this is before I learned how to have self-control, how to learn those things. And as I've gone, even after, when I was a government contractor, my junior, senior, and then 2.5 years after, I was fighting bosses. Yeah, supervisors. And it was this company that we would go to government bases. I would fight them. And again, I was around people who pushed that. I was around people, yeah, go kick his ass. Hey, take him in the trailer. Take him up in the trailer. And I go in the trailer. Come on, let's go. You want to run your mouth. You want to talk shit. Step on in. Let's go. I don't give a shit how tall you are. I don't give a shit how big you think these dudes were. Babe, I was like 5'5". I was short, dude. I didn't start growing until my sophomore year. Then I got up to 5'9". And I haven't grown since. But like those are aspects of me where I know where her anger comes from. Because I was that way. Yeah.
She's your ball of anger, all right.
She's my little raging ball of anger. And so my goal with her would be to help her understand it and control it and to not act on it. Stop acting on your anger. Because it doesn't get you anywhere. It got me in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. I got
Big trouble.
Yeah, I got kicked out of high school for that. That's why I got yeah. Whatever. And again, I was a terrible person back then. That's not who I am now. But those are things that I went through, and I want you to understand that having self-discipline and self-control is one of the utmost important things. Because if you let your emotions control you, then anybody can control you. Because all they got to do is just say one or two things, boom, they got you. And then they control you like a little puppet and do what they want with you. And you want to be that individual.
You want to be yourself.
The individual, right. You want to be individual. You don't want anybody but yourself to control you. So when I would get pissed off and I would get mad all the time, I didn't care about anything. Everything that I didn't care about the job. I didn't care about who it was. I didn't care who was watching. We were gonna fight in front of majors and sergeants and, you know what I mean, captains and shit like that. You know what I mean? I even got offered a job. We were in Arizona. I'll never forget it, man. We were in was it Arizona? No, New Mexico. Alamogordo, New Mexico. The place of the B-52 bomber. I got to see one there. That was cool. This is where I got the scar on my lip from, because it was that freezing outside, and I laughed and my lip split in half.
Oh.
Yeah. No blood flowed, no nothing, because that's how cold it was. So we're taking out things from the trailer and stuff like that, and that dude just wouldn't stop talking shit. He just wouldn't stop running off at the mouth. And him and I got into it. And I was going to fucking beat his ass. I was like, get your fucking ass in here. Let's fucking go. You think you're fucking all this and that. Boom, 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 boom. And we're just talking mad shit. Well, the major comes up and he goes, hey, son, come with me. Takes me out and walks me. He goes, you got a great fighting spirit. I love it. But you're not going to do that shit here on my base. Oh. He goes, because if you fight him, I have to go get an MP officer, which is military police. And then once they come and they arrest you, you're done. Like, you're gone. That's going to be on your record for life. It's like, oh. He goes, but I'll offer you a job out here. And it was some tech job that he offered me. And I couldn't take it. Because he was like, you got to find your own way out here. You got to get your own house out here. We can't supply you with anything. It would have been. I mean, that was an opportunity I had to turn down because I didn't have a place. to go out there and stay.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been cool. That would have been interesting. That would have been different. But then all these other things would have. What would have happened if I would have taken that? A whole different life transpired in that direction instead of the one that's now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are things that happen throughout our lives that if it wasn't for him, what if I did get into that fight? What if I didn't? What if I didn't let him chill me out? You know what I mean? That self-control, learning that. I would have been in jail. I would have been all messed up. You know what I mean? It would have been basically the end of me. Because I couldn't control my anger. I couldn't control my emotions. And this is why I tell you, throughout your life, you're going to be tested with many different things from many different people. And the best thing you can do is walk away if you can. If there's no other viable option, please defend yourself to no
Of
end.
course.
You know what I mean? Reasonably to no end. But self mastery and self control is extremely important. And I don't want you to think that you can't like let loose every now and again. You know what I mean? It's okay to. It's all right to. Sometimes we need it. Sometimes we need it as people to let go. So in this aspect, what do you think as you continue to grow older and as you continue to get older, what aspects of those parts of you, or even when you do see them, or if you see them, do you think you can help you become better?
Yes, I do think I can help myself become better, with, more positive self-talk. Actually surrounding myself with the people that I know that have good intention and, actually want to support me mentally and physically, of course. And obviously being a bit more picky with friends, especially, what I had gone through previously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, another thing would just be giving myself time and patience when I know that for me, I don't have much patience, but I think I could work on that. Actually having patience for people, and sometimes when things are slow, I get incredibly impatient. I think that's definitely one of the biggest things I need to work on.
Do you think that hinders you?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes when, I'm in a break and I actually do need to take a break, it's me just mentally going, this is so incredibly slow. It's taking too much time. I think that's, one of the other sides of me, my really impatient side.
So that's a trait we're both working on. You got to work on it, man. Because when you get older and you fulfill your career and you do your thing, do you want your kids to be that way?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, if I have kids later on in
Right.
the future,
Right.
which I'm sure I will, I want them to obviously learn new things, learn about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
become themselves, but a better version of what they view themselves as. Become
Which is what I want for you guys. Be better than me and your mom in every way possible. Don't be like us, man. Don't be like us. Because even myself, I can only speak for myself. I do not speak for your mom, but only myself. I still have to work on breaking those chains and bonds and, that crap. And it's not easy. And nobody ever said it was. I don't have any guidance for it. I'm doing this all on my own.
you're doing it blind.
Yeah. Well, not just blind, but learning When and when not to. That's the other part. When to be patient, when not to be, when to step away, and when to stand your ground.
When learn when to defend yourself.
Right. And then when to just, all right, I don't need this. I'm
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm gonna take a step back. You know what I mean? I'm gonna walk away from the situation. You either chill out or it chills out, and we can talk about it amicably, or it doesn't, and we just go our separate ways. And those are the hardest choices to make, because sometimes, especially in my case, when you have to let family go, and it's family you've known all your life, but it's the most healthiest thing for you to do, you have to do it. You have to do it. Don't ever let anybody ever tell you, well, family is blood is thicker than water. That's the most bullshit thing, and that's not even the full quote at all. And that's it goes on to say something else about a covenant. The blood is thicker than water, something something about a covenant. It's basically your family is who you make them out to be that fit you. And they call it your soul fam, your soul family. The people who align with you, the people who have aspirations and that positive mindset and those things of understanding oneself and becoming better as a human being and becoming better individually for your friend group. And then your friend group, they themselves becoming individually better for you guys. You know what I mean? That each of you are on that road and journey of becoming better individuals to make a better community within your group. So don't ever think that you have to stay a certain way or be a certain way. You don't. Ever.
Another really bad habit I used to do in like elementary and stuff to make new friends, and I know this myself. I look back on it and I'm like, I don't know why I did that, but in elementary, I used to change my personality and what I liked just to make new friends, and that was one of the worst habits I realized that I did, was because I didn't need to do that.
Mm-mm.
If I were to just be myself, I would have been so much better. I would have been so much better
But
far off of when I used to change myself to be fitting in other people's eyes.
right, fitting their aspects of you. But you learn that at a very young age. Most people don't ever learn that throughout their entire lives. Think about that. Most people don't learn that. Like that in itself is a giant achievement. Oh man, I'm placating to my surroundings to fit in. And then not too long after, why the hell did I do that? That's what it comes down to. Why was I ever thinking that I needed to be someone else when I could just be me?
And I think, after that, I realized I don't need to fit in. There's not any, rules or any regulations that, oh, you need to fit in. No. You can just be yourself.
If you have to change to fit in somewhere, that's not your group. Those aren't your people
At all.
at all. So to be able to be self-aware enough to learn that and to know that and to see that and then to apply action to make those changes of understanding and to come all the way full circle back to I just need to be me. Bro, you're already ahead of the game by like 90% of the population.
After I stopped that and after I actually started becoming myself, obviously my loud and loving personality, I that's when I finally met Corey. Yeah, and he was the best and sweetest person I've ever met, and you know, of course we were just loud together,
Yeah,
and we just
yeah, a bunch of goofballs, man. You two are just the funniest goofballs together. And I respect that and I enjoy that. And again, it's like I told them that day at that table, you disrespect my daughter, you're gonna have problems, bro. You got some serious problems. Don't disrespect my daughter, and she won't disrespect you. That's a two-way road. You know what I mean? It has to be a two-way street.
It's a duality.
Yeah, you gotta give and receive as far as that respect
If you
is going.
give, you'll receive.
Right. Yeah. That's the base premise of it. So watching the way you two interact with each other is hilarious to me. I think it's the funniest thing to me. It's the greatest thing in the world to me. Um, because it shows not just a whole bunch of respect for each other, but it also shows like admiration for each other. You know, it shows honoring each other, not just through emotionally, but with kindness, understanding. You know what I mean? That's really important.
And I'm sure you can very obviously tell I favor him so much out of my whole friend group. It's really obvious, but you can tell that I do the favoring with genuine love and care. You can tell that even when I do favor him out of the group, it's because I love and care about him. We've both helped each other out of a lot of potholes we've gotten stuck in, and
Right.
that's what I admire about him is that no matter how angry I get at him or how much I want to push him away, I never really do. I think it's because we've formed such a strong bond over the years that we've been friends. And we've been friends for so long.
And there's still so many years to come. You know what I mean? There's still a bunch of time to come. There's still a lot of years to go. Don't ever take it for granted.
Of course.
Be grateful. Be thankful. Be gracious in your kindness towards each other. Again, I'm not sitting here saying you need to be serious 24/7. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. That will ruin your life. That will ruin your life. Nor will I ever say that. Don't sit here and try to be serious 24/7. That is the worst thing to do. Go be a goofball, dude. Don't be afraid to be silly. Don't be afraid to be hilarious. Don't be afraid to be, just a goofy person. Be you. Because I miss those parts of me. Sweetie, if you were to see me when I was with my boys back in the day and saw how goofy and stupid I was, you'd be like, that's not my dad. That is not him, dude. I was acting like a complete dunce. I was a fool. I was acting like the goofiest dude ever.
And over I think like these past few weeks, I've been thinking about like me and my friendship, of course, and I'm like, I am so genuinely grateful, and beyond that, I'm so grateful for everything I've gone through with this guy because all of the mental struggles, and he's been there for me for all of it, and that's what I admire. It's his loyalty. Of course, I have loyalty too.
That's a key foundation for any relationship. And that is something I've told you this before. If you don't have loyalty, you don't have anything. You literally don't have anything. There's no trust, there's no honor, there's no respect, there's no dignity, there's no self-worth, there's nothing else after that. If loyalty and respect are not on the table,
Nothing.
get rid of the whole thing. Literally get rid of the whole relationship because there's nothing else. And this is also why I've had to learn to be alone. I have 2 friends. 2? Maybe 3? No, 3. I know thousands of people. Thousands. Like tens of thousands. I know a lot of fucking people. And out of all of them, I only have 3 friends that I call my brothers. And that's after 40 years of being on this 41, gonna be 42, of being on this planet. Out of all of them, including family, I have 3 of them. Family-wise is a whole different thing. But friend-wise, I have 3 of them. Baby, I used to go party with some of the craziest motherfuckers on the planet. Wild motherfucker, do dumb shit. We used to go crash parties all the time. Now look, there I am. You'll learn that as you grow older. So, to end today's episode, I think that there is a lot of good things that you've taken and that you're doing. A lot of great things that you're doing. So I love that about you. That keep it going, babe. You're doing great. Other than that, until tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, until tomorrow. Laters, guys.